Yo yo, it's Monday night once again. Your usual gang with me being Aristotle, your co-host, and Nick Kauton on the other side, aka Sick Nick. We're still awaiting the arrival of our ex-leader, former leader, Mr. Phil Sniffen himself, but he is currently sick right now and will be back shortly, hopefully by next week. Okay, let's get right into it. Into curious questions. Do we have any curious questions?
Um,
I don't see any on
well,
your
I guess
doc there.
right. I'm working on another document that's related to video games and streaming, but um, I guess it kind of came to me now that you just asked.
Okay.
When it comes to I guess in a battle, if you are in a battle and you're given any weapon of your choice, and you could only pick one,
Okay.
what kind of weapon do you think would suit you best in a battle? Theoretically.
What are my options here?
Let's see. Based on this document here, you're given either an assault rifle, a pistol, uh, missile launcher, a shotgun, or a sniper rifle.
And this is a one-on-one combat situation?
No, this is like, you know, when I say battle, usually you got guys backing you up. So yeah.
So like a pretty big battle scene setup?
Mm-hmm. Like imagine you're in Saving Private Ryan, that kind of stuff.
Oh,
Except assault rifles technically did not exist yet.
okay, I gotcha. So if I had to pick one weapon in this situation,
Yeah.
I mean, the more the people, the easier it is with the AOE kind of weapon, so I'll go with the grenade launcher,
Gren-
obviously.
well, grenade launcher wasn't really an option, but
Oh wait, what did
okay, I
you
can.
said something like that? RPG?
I yeah, like an RPG or a
Okay.
missile launcher.
Anything in that,
But
yeah,
grenade.
in that class, I will definitely pick.
So pretty much you'd be a demo man kind of type.
Yep, blow shit up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I do consider that pretty scary, so that's a
Yeah,
very good choice. I
scary
mean,
for
you
the
could
opponent.
potentially take out clusters of enemies that way.
Exactly. If you have the option to be OP, why not take it?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say OP, but considering you got weapons that pretty much has the devastating effect of killing multiple people at once in just one shot, I'd say you'd be a pretty scary person to the enemy.
Yeah. They'd be like, oh
You
shit,
you'd be a living angel of death.
it's the
Yeah.
RPG dude. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to send a
Well,
message.
right. I mean, before I do remember you said you're more into the sniper stealth type, which is fine. I mean, I don't blame people that are like that, but for the only drawback to being a demo man is you have to sacrifice your stealth and go completely loud.
I mean, in a battle like that, you don't really need stuff, so let's go
Yeah,
all
I
out.
know. Right, right.
But yeah,
Anyway, yeah. For me, I guess I'm more of the standard loadout type of person, and
standard.
by that, just give me an assault rifle and a sidearm and a couple of grenades, and I should be okay to say the least.
Okay. Being
Yeah,
okay
but
meaning
then
you'll hopefully last the battle, like hopefully.
yeah, then again, the thing about having standard loadout is, you're pretty much a bantha fodder in a way,
Yeah.
where just like everyone else, you have a very high risk of dying because you're literally on the front line, just like majority of everybody else would be.
Yeah. You're very likely to be a grenade casualty.
Oh yeah. Well, not it doesn't have to be a grenade
Right.
necessarily, but a casualty of any kind, it's very likely that'll happen. So, as an alternative, I would also be a sniper.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That's just an alternative though.
In the shadows kind of thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
In this kind of battle, where would the sniper be though?
Usually snipers are kind of like the archers in medieval battles. Like how they're usually taking a back seat from all the fighting, and they're just eliminating enemies from the back sort of
Mm,
way. Yeah,
okay.
snipers work in a similar manner.
But archers back in the day, they didn't really prioritize a high ground. You know what I mean? They can just shoot
Not
up. Whereas
Yeah,
snipers would,
not
yeah,
necessarily.
snipers
Yeah,
you would
because
prefer high ground for a sniper.
yeah, exactly. Whereas archers, high ground wasn't necessarily the priority for them. I mean, if you have like a lot of archers with you, you could just aim up and you have like an artillery effect of arrows coming down.
Mm. A la
Yeah,
300. That was a cool effect, by the way.
pretty much. Yeah, but that, believe it or not, that kind of archery tactic is was very common for its time.
Oh yeah.
So pretty much 300 in that case of medieval warfare, it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, very common and not really effective, especially against the Spartans, because they just put their shields up. They're like, we're
Yeah,
fighting in the
which
Rhine.
was smart.
Yeah,
Which is smart, thank God.
that was a cool scene.
Well, I wouldn't say it's smart. It's more like common sense.
Yeah, pretty much. 101. Okay, that was a great first question. Let's go right into mine. A little more serious topic, I guess. At this point in your life, would you rather save up for potential career opportunities or just leisure? Just, not the lazy way, but
um,
just taking it easy, I guess.
for
Pre-
me, I'm
yeah.
kind of. I mean, it's kind of a must that I save, primarily for Mia's arrival. Like
Oh yeah.
I'm not necessarily saving money, although that is a part of the reason why I'm spending less, but more like more like I guess it's you could say it's for leisure because Mia
Hmm.
and I once she reunites with me in Hawaii, I think we're gonna be going on a couple trips around the island together,
Ooh.
whether it's just us or a
Family.
couple of friends or family members.
Yeah, we'd love to meet her. You know that. We've been waiting her arrival
Yeah.
for a while now. So
Don't
obviously you
worry.
guys
That
can have your honeymoon stage, but eventually we'd like to meet her
well,
too.
technically, we already had our honeymoon
Right,
stage.
right. But I mean on your turf.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess in this point of your life too, are you kind of thinking of more career opportunities, down the line? Are you pretty much content where you are, or do you want to, move up in a way?
Well, I do want to move up eventually, but right now, you know, I'm pretty, I'm pretty okay where I am. I mean, it's not as far as schedules go, it's not the best in the world, but I would say I've had much worse schedule inconsistencies in my last line of work.
Mm. So slowly
If you
getting
remember.
into, oh yeah, 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 definitely.
Yeah,
So everything's
I
slowly coming
mean,
together.
pretty much, yeah. Which is why I'm pretty okay with where I'm at, but at the same time, it's like, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Don't settle.
yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Uh, I guess let's pop right down into video games and streaming. Medals of Honor. Please elaborate on that.
Okay, so this actually relates well with classic Battlefront 2. In the game, there is an award system called the Medal Awards system, or at least that's the way I call it. But there are actually, sorry. Since I'm almost done with the document, you wanna do yours first, if that's okay. Like talk about Hunt. I'm totally okay with that because I don't
Almost
even know the
done.
game anyway.
Wait, you're not done with the document?
Yeah, I'm not done. Well, I'm not done, but I'm very close to finishing.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
if you want, you could talk about Hunt.
Okay, Hunt Showdown. It was a game that came out in 20 last year around the same time when PUBG blew up. So me and Dio have been low key playing it, on the
Mm-hmm.
side kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we took a break from it because uh, bugs and issues and connection issues. But since then, the game has really, you know, caught the eye of the community, I guess. Everyone's been talking about it and stuff. And pretty much, it's a very Hunger Games esque kind of game. So pretty much a battle
Oh.
royale, but like a very small, in a very small, like 12 players instead of 100, pretty much. 10 to
Mm.
12 players. So it's very S&D almost too.
Mhm.
Has the same qualities, but no, it gets very intense and stuff. And you gotta work with your partner, whether it's the two of you or the three of you. And there's objectives around the map, aka
Right.
bosses, which you have to take down. And once you take that boss down, you gotta collect the reward and then put it back to the checkpoint. Now,
Uh.
when you put that bounty of the boss to the checkpoint, you can either keep it there to gain the rewards, or you can go back and get the other two bosses, which is obviously high risk, high reward kind of gameplay. So you can be
So.
yeah,
Right.
you can settle with the one reward, but you can always go back and risk losing that reward to get higher rewards, pretty much.
Makes sense. I mean, it's sort of like it's I mean to me that kind of sounds like Witcher in a way, except you have to be a lot more tactical because you'll probably be using more ranged weapons. I mean, to me this
Yeah.
sounds like this is like a modern era type of
Uh,
game setting.
I would say 1900s era.
Nin- oh,
Yeah.
oh, so like wait, hold on, 1900s. So you pretty much have like bolt action rifles then,
You got some sawed-off shotguns. You have bolt action.
right?
For some reason, there's an automatic weapon. I don't know where that came from, but it's a legendary weapon which you gain later down the line.
Actually, technically that makes sense
Oh,
because
really?
in the early 1800s, especially during World War One, machine guns were a thing. They weren't
Mm.
too common,
Right.
but they started off as like as like it was kind of an expensive weapon for most
Oh yeah.
militaries to make because there's a lot of bullets that they got to produce for
Mhm.
it. And oftentimes, since machine gun was a fairly new concept, it
Definitely.
would jam in most points.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you want to go back even earlier than that, look no further than the Gatling gun,
Oh.
which
Yep.
it basically is like it's like a minigun on wheels sort of thing.
More or less. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. So really, I'm not surprised they actually have machine guns in that game.
They're very rare. Like I said, you don't really gain them until you're like a very high level.
Yeah.
But once you do, man,
Yeah.
it's a game changer for sure.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Definitely makes sense.
Yeah. But it's
What?
what's up?
Yeah. So in this game, what's the setting besides the timeline? Like, where are you in the world?
Where it's mostly takes place in like a bayou, kind of like a um I don't know how to explain it, like a wetlands kind of area.
So, so kind of like the forest almost.
Forest, more more or less, but it's mostly in. It's like a man. It's hard to explain. Like a hick town kind of remote
Ah.
area.
Uh huh.
Like, have you watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre or Hills Have Eyes?
I believe. Okay, not so much on Texas Chainsaw, but Hills Have Eyes. I do remember seeing quite a bit of that movie.
Yeah.
So
So you
yeah.
can
So
imagine the
you're
setting in
basically
that.
in a
Hmm.
so you're basically in a desert land then.
More or less. There's different levels to it, but that's one of the
Yeah.
levels, one of the
Yeah,
settings.
because then what you call when I watched The Hills Have Eyes, it actually took place in like the Nevada desert area because that was when they were testing nuclear weapons, which
Mm,
you know, re- at least according to the movie, it mutated the
yeah, the residents.
inbred family there.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's a really good game. Really, it gets really intense. It's not your usual battle royale game, obviously, because there are side objectives on top of trying to kill people and trying not to get killed.
I see.
So there are still other teams out there that are trying to get the same rewards as you.
Hmm.
So, it's very strategic as well.
Right.
So
Uh,
yeah,
do you choose your weapons or do you have to find them in the world?
they're all preloaded once you get in the game, and you can choose a class
They're all
whether
what?
preloaded, meaning you have everything you need at the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So pretty much all you're looking for is just refilling ammo or add-on weapons like traps, bombs, whatever.
Right. So since you already have since you're given weapons already, do you choose like a loadout, or does it randomly give you a loadout that the game decides to give you?
You can have it randomly choose for you, but you can also choose in your own liking. But again,
Ah,
it's unlock things by the level kind of thing. So you start out with very basic, shitty weapons, but as you play more,
mm-hmm.
you get those really good weapons down the line.
Right.
And it's a very balanced system, so you can melee as well, and melee is just as effective as guns if you know what you're doing. There's a
That
stealth
yeah,
mechanic as
that's
well.
actually
hmm So
that's good.
crouching is very much recommended if try and go for the stealth kills.
Oh yeah, makes sense because you know, especially when you're in cover, crouching does make you harder to hit in the game.
Or here, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. That too.
That and then down the line you can purchase silencers for your weapons as well. So you can pretty much make a stealth loadout for your character,
Oh,
which is pretty cool.
okay. That part, I'll be honest, does surprise me because I mean I could be wrong, but at least in my experience with both watching History Channel and playing games set uh during or before World War I era, but I don't remember suppressors being made yet during that time.
Well, it's
I
not
could be
like
wrong though.
it's not your modern suppressor kind of thing. It's probably like a prototype in a way. So it's not
Mm-hmm.
the most effective
Right.
suppressor, but it does, suppress sound more or less.
So basically, it doesn't completely silence your weapon, but
No, no.
it basically like kind of it's like it dampens the sound to
Yeah,
where you're not gonna hear it. Uh, you're not gonna hear it from like a certain range. Is that what you're saying?
pretty much. Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a lesser range,
Ah,
of the weapon sound if you have it on. So it does help.
interesting.
Yeah.
Makes sense because even today, most suppressors don't silence your
No,
shots as most people would believe.
it's actually still loud.
Yeah, it's still pretty loud, but if only if you're like at a certain closer range. But if you're like way far away, then yeah, you're not gonna hear anything.
Exactly. So there's those options as well. There's also a crossbow you can unlock down the line, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you're,
Nice.
into archery or medieval style weapons. So yeah, it's a really fun game, and there's a lot of. It's a deep game as well, mechanic wise, loadout wise. There's a lot of stuff you can do,
I see.
customization on things.
Nice.
So
So it's kind of like you mix the game mechanics of PUBG, but it's also like Call of Duty where you're given a loadout you can choose from.
hmm and also it has a
But
very Resident Evil esque feeling to it because there are zombies walking around.
oh, so basically it's a survival horror too,
Yeah,
not just battle royale.
pretty much. Yeah,
That
yeah.
I feel like that's something PUBG could actually do because
hmm
when it did actually experiment with zombie type of enemies while also hunting down other players, I feel like it kind of missed the trick by making the zombies like you know hard like not hard to kill, but like they can kill you twice as easily as most players would.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know zombies are pretty slow
hmm
and they're usually very vulnerable, but when you have them in a pack, that's when you should probably keep your distance or at the very least run away.
Right, right. Exactly. And in this game, they don't really attack in packs. The most is probably three at a time, but they are very powerful. So don't underestimate them.
Right.
But any other questions you had for the game? Or at
No,
this point, it's mostly
I
just
think
like
that was
try
it.
it out experience.
Yeah, it's mostly like personal experience from other people.
hmm
That way, I can get an idea of how the game works.
Yeah, there's also a tutorial mode. When you first start it, so
Mm,
you won't be a total noob once we start a game.
yeah.
And honestly, I haven't played in a while, so in a way, I am a noob again, because they have updated the game a lot since I last played, so it'll be a
I
new
can't
thing for
blame
me.
you. I can't blame you because I did feel that way with Battlefront 2 for after not playing for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
So I know exactly how you feel.
Hmm. But did you get back into the mechanics pretty fast?
Oh yeah,
Kind of.
definitely. In fact, with the medal award system,
Mm.
I actually got intimately familiar with them, which was something that I didn't really take into consideration in the time where I played Battlefront 2 as a kid, and when I played Battlefront 2 on PC when I was like, you know, post high school kind of
Mhm.
guy.
I
Like
see.
I wasn't quite in college yet.
Right, 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 right. Yeah. It was a phase kind of thing, but it's good to have it back in your life for sure.
Hmm.
'Cause it's a classic game. But wait, are you done with the Medals of Honor thing?
Yeah,
You ready
pretty
to talk about it?
much. Hmm.
Okay. The floor is yours.
Anyway, so for those who are not familiar with Battlefront 2 Classic, and I emphasize classic and not the EA bullshit that's out right now. There is an award system in the classic game called medals, or I call it
Mm.
medals of honor system. And there's a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 medals total, and most of
Wow.
them it usually pertains to weapons. But as far as weapons go, there are frenzy, gunslinger, demolition, regulator, and marksman,
Mm.
which if it didn't occur to you already, you have to get certain kills with with the assault rifle for frenzy,
Okay.
gunslinger for the pistol, demolition for the remote controlled missile launcher, regulator for the shotgun, or sorry, shotgun for regulator, and marksman, which is self-explanatory, sniper rifle.
Mm.
And then there are passive medals, which are called technician, endurance, guardian, and war hero. So the technician award is you can actually have your vehicle regenerate. Once if it gets damaged.
Mm.
Well, although I'm not completely sure about it, I believe this only works with the engineer class in you know ground battle type scenarios, which to me is extremely handy.
Oh yeah.
And then you got endurance, which basically your energy boost doesn't drain as fast. It's kind of like an increase pretty much. Then you got guardian, which your damage resistance is increased, meaning you're not going to die as easily in the game.
For sure.
And for war hero, you actually deliver more damage than you usually do. So it's a damage increase that you deliver towards you know enemy AIs.
Right. I see. So can you stack the medals and the effects of them, or?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say stack, but if you earn the medals over and over to a certain number,
Mhm.
you can actually permanently keep the bonuses with you. So
Oh.
right now, I actually have frenzy, gunslinger, regulator, endurance, guardian, and war hero on legendary. So that means I've earned 6 out of 9 medals in the game.
Wow.
Yeah,
You've
I've been
you've been
tweaking
tweaking
quite a
on it,
bit
man. Wow.
ever since I got Battlefront 2. I've been tweaking quite a bit. That's why I haven't been playing Fallout 4, Skyrim,
Mhm.
Witcher, Metro, or even PUBG as much.
Man, it's too bad because I was hoping for an update on Witcher, but I guess you're in that Star Wars phase for now.
Oh yeah, which right now I'm riding high on it because Star Wars is actually one of my favorite all-time franchises.
Hasn't Dieter been playing with you? Because he got you into the game. Or
Well, I wouldn't say with me, but he has been playing on the side usually.
oh,
But
okay.
he does have the game, right now, one of my priorities is to learn how to create a server where he and I can play.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I thought you could invite your friends, in your server.
Well, unfortunately, since multiplayer in the PC version is actually fairly new, I haven't quite learned how to make a server yet. Which surprisingly, for whatever reason, it's not as easy as many people would think, or at least most new players would think. Because usually out there, um, making a server in most newer games is
Mm,
actually fairly easy. Whereas for this one, since this is a 2005 game, there are some uh, complications that you might have to deal with.
I see. Explain the matchmaking system. Can you invite friends into your party, or are you matched with random people?
I'm pretty
How's
sure you could. It's just that I don't really know how.
ah
However, when I tried going into the multiplayer system, you what I saw is like a long list of servers that you could join in, which pretty much that's the only thing I could say out of
mm,
multiplayer, which is okay because although it does emphasize quite a bit on the multiplayer aspect of the game, I still have fun playing single player
oh
all
yeah,
in all. So
yeah,
really, whether it's on single player or multiplayer, it doesn't really matter to me.
mm, gotcha.
The only thing is yeah, the well, at least it's actually justified that they do this. But if you're gonna play multiplayer, you're gonna have to earn back your medals all over again in the multiplayer mode. In single player mode, your medals, whatever you earn, you have them. You don't have to start over. But in multiplayer, you have to earn them again,
Yeah,
which actually makes sense because, well, actually, no. I think
it
I'm not sure if
shouldn't
you
it
have to earn
automatically
them
sync
all over again.
between the modes? That's what I would think.
Well, it should, but it doesn't, which is actually good because
Hmm.
it actually keeps the game in balance. Because
Okay.
um, I don't know if you actually have to, you know, I don't know if you could actually earn it permanently, but you can still earn the medals in multiplayer.
Hmm.
The only thing is, it's probably not going to be permanent, whereas in single player, because if you think about it, you know, wielding an elite rifle and a precision pistol in the game, where you
Right.
could kill players extremely easily, it does get very very annoying, if you ask me.
I see. Yeah. And unrealistic
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, unrealistic too. So they gotta keep the balance between players, which you could still earn the weapons, but
Yeah.
it's probably not gonna be permanent.
Gotcha. So which mode have you been tweaking on mostly right now?
Right now, I've been mostly on Galactic Conquest because I actually like the I guess the tactical
Missions?
aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't necessarily say missions because the only objective in a conquest is you have to conquer all the planets in the galaxy and
Mm.
pretty much eliminate your enemies in every way possible.
Yeah, definitely a conquest. Like a cool bike, Genghis Khan kind of conquest, but way
Yeah,
into the future.
exactly. In fact,
Galactic.
every time, yeah, every time you finish every time you finish a battle, you actually earn a lot more credits
Mm-hmm.
than the enemies would earn after being defeated. And each and every turn, you can actually take a look at the entire galaxy that you have and how many planets you've dominated. So pretty much, the more planets that are under your control, the more credits you earn after each victory that you get.
So after each planet you conquer, are you exponentially, stronger, pretty much every time? In a way,
Well,
making it easier.
not necessarily stronger, but you can actually strengthen your forces through bonuses, which you can buy 3 at maximum. But when you're in a battle, you can only choose one for a balance for to kind of tip the scales in your favor, which makes sense because
Mm.
if you could use all three bonuses at once, if you ask me, the game would be pretty much
Yeah.
broken at this
I mean,
point.
you'd be broken because it'd be too easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as bonuses go, I'd say maybe, or actually only a couple of them are pretty crap, which are the energy boost bonus and the supplies bonus. Because if you ask me, those aren't really like if you know
Yeah.
how to if you at least know how to kill your enemies properly, those won't really matter. But once you get to other bonuses like garrison, sabotage, enhanced blaster, and leader bonus, then yeah, you might want to start to worry, especially when the enemy team has a leader on the battlefield.
So leaders make a big difference.
It actually does. In fact, try try playing any like if you play any iconic hero in the game, you
Hmm.
can actually kill your enemies a lot quicker than you normally would with a regular soldier.
I see. I see.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to
So
using heroes during battles? Like,
technically there is, but each and every time you kill an enemy, you increase their time spent on a battlefield. But
hmm.
at the same time, if you get damaged too much as the leader, you actually have a much shorter time span because
Gotcha.
the way you play the leader is unlike a regular health bar. You actually have
Time bar.
um, a time bar which also acts like a health bar.
I
So the
see.
more you get hit, the shorter time that you have to play as that leader.
So they are invincible at the same time, not invincible. Like invincible to damage, but not invincible to time, pretty much.
Well, you're actually no, you're pretty much vulnerable to both. But like I said, the more you kill, the longer you can spend time playing as the leader.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, what I'm trying to say is kill as many as you can and don't stand around while doing it.
Right. So during battle, can you switch between, your regular guy and leaders or
Only if the game awards you the option,
oh,
because the how it goes is the game will award the leader bonus to the best player, which in single player obviously it's gonna be you.
yeah.
So you have the option to play as the leader if you want, which you can either choose yes or no. But
Mm.
considering how us gamers would be, I'm pretty sure we would all pick yes.
Yeah. Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
Okay. Well, sounds fun. I'm definitely looking forward to playing it. I am downloading it at the moment, so
right.
hopefully I can get
Well,
some games in.
I would okay, I will tell you this. If you've ever played any Star Wars game in your life, this game will keep you glued to your computer. I promise.
Is that a warning?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why I've been tweaking so much in the game lately.
Well, that's good. You're actually making use of your laptop and gaming skills in a way.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you do deserve a break from all the other games you've been playing.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially since this is actually my favorite game of all time.
Wow, really? This game?
Yeah. This game. Yes. In
Sheesh.
fact, I have a lot more fun. In my childhood, I have a lot more fond games playing this. Or sorry, I have a lot more fond memories
Hmm.
playing this game alone than any other game I've ever played. The only game that comes second will most likely be GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. And yes, they're all tied because it's GTA.
That's in your early days, right?
Yeah,
Not counting
this
the
was
Fallout
before.
days.
No, this was way before the
Okay,
Fallout days. In
gotcha.
fact, I wasn't even living in Waipahu yet during that time.
Okay, so your baby step days of video gaming.
Pretty much, yeah. In fact, I remember playing GTA. All three of them really. I remember playing GTA with friends, where we each get a turn,
Hmm.
and how it works is you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want in the game, but there are two conditions to keeping yourself playing for as long as possible. if you die once, next player is
Yeah.
gonna play.
Yep.
But if you get busted twice, then next player. So pretty much, it's like, yeah. I mean, to me, those are actually very fair rules because if you die, that's it. Whereas if you get busted, you basically got two chances total. So if you get busted once, then you have one more chance. You screw that up, then you gotta pass the controller to the next person.
Gotcha. And since it's a one-player game, that's the only option of playing
Mm-hmm.
or taking turns.
Yeah. And ever since, even though I haven't been playing GTA with friends these days, anytime that I actually have to share the game with anybody, those are my rules from now on. You die once, pass it. Get busted twice, pass it.
But there are moments where that one guy just takes forever playing, or just will
Of
not die or will
oh
not
hell yeah!
get pulled
Oh
over.
hell yeah! Of
And your mind's like,
course.
dude, give us a shot too, man.
I know.
Like
I know.
die
I mean,
already.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it doesn't help that they actually, you know, they milk the game
Yeah.
by, using cheats
Hmm.
frequently. I mean, I like to use cheats every now and then, but if I'm gonna use it to my advantage, where like I'm not gonna die at all, I'm probably gonna get kicked from the community
You
because of
gotta
that.
set some boundaries, yeah, when you're in that
Yeah,
certain
exactly.
situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you know how to play the game well, but give us a chance, man. We like the game too.
We're here too, yeah. We're not just watching
Yeah.
you, dude. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's it for the video games and streaming this week. Let's head down to personal achievements. Nick, break it down.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, this is technically old info, but I
Oh,
will reiterate it again.
okay.
Um, when this Wednesday we will be playing live in Taps and Apps for the open mic event, and to me this one is going to be a little bit special because there will be a few people that are close to me as far as music is concerned. One is two of the Hurricanes members,
Hmm.
which are both our good friends and our competitors. So we will be getting a bit of acoustic Hawaiian on the side,
Hmm.
along with acoustic rock. And
Nice.
to me, I think this person is probably gonna be the most special guest in the house, especially since all by himself he could win a crowd over more than any of us can. Both the Hurricanes and Synesthesia, we're pretty much outclassed by this one guy, if you ask me. And that
Wow.
guy is either.
I was gonna say, like, is this Dieter? Like, I know, in a way, I know you're gonna say
Yes,
Dieter.
he is gonna be in Taps and Naps this Wednesday,
Performing?
which I am, yeah,
Oh
which I
shit.
am encouraging him to be there because knowing how skilled he is, I'm I would say I'm 110% confident that he's going to win over the bar by himself.
Jeez. Yeah. I mean, for that reason alone, I think I'll come just to watch him play. Not to disrespect you or the Hurricanes, because I know you guys are great brands and stuff. But just
Oh
seeing
yeah,
Dieter,
definitely.
kill it at a gig like that, I'm definitely down to see that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you because even I have to admit, and I'm pretty sure Meg, Kaleo, and Roden have to admit themselves that Deether is pretty much a one-man band. And when they say you're a one-man band, that means you're exceptionally skilled in
In every
many,
facet.
many other
Oh yeah.
instruments. Yeah, and many, in pretty much every aspect there is to music, you pretty much got it on lock.
Sheesh. Yeah, he's definitely gonna take over the bar then with those skills.
Yeah.
And it's cool because that's your brother. Like, you can kind of low key boast about it because hey, that's my brother, guys. I don't know. But I
Yeah.
guess you're not the boasting type, or are you?
Well, sort of, but not a lot. I wouldn't say it's boasting if he can actually prove it. And, more than once, he has actually proved how skilled he is in music. In fact, I do remember in one of our rehearsals where I was just kind of sitting back and taking a break.
Hmm.
He he actually he actually played all four of our parts you know, in
Right.
one sitting. Like he played cajon for like a few minutes, and then the next few minutes he played bass. The next few minutes after that he played guitar, and the next few minutes after that he sang. And then all four of us were like, "Oh shit, this guy could outperform us in all of our parts. What the hell?"
I can't tell if he's just showing off his skills or he's making you look bad, or both.
Possibly both, but at the same time he does admire us
Oh yeah,
individually. So
definitely.
so in a way we kind of see him as our guide in music.
Hmm.
Yeah,
You're
like
a
whenever
Jedi
we're
Master.
sort of like that, we're pretty much Padawans compared to
Right.
him. In fact, whenever like this is actually one thing he does during our rehearsals, but he doesn't do it very often. Like whenever we're playing our parts and he could hear that somebody is off in the mix, he'll actually tell us to stop, and then he'll be like, "How about you, bass player, you do this, and then guitar player, you do this.
Right.
Drummer, you're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. And for a singer, try your best to adjust if you can." Like he actually tells us, here's what you can try to do, or here's what you should do,
Right.
because
Right. Right.
I know what I'm doing.
He.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay. But yeah, he could definitely be your music coordinator in a way if you guys let him.
yeah. In fact, that's actually something I've been trying to say about him, but I didn't really quite get that in mind. But yeah, I mean, along with being music coordinator, I think he alone could actually warm up the crowd to the point where they're like, "Hey, I mean, I'm not saying the crowd will say this, but
Mm.
like, hey, this guy is awesome, man. He's
Yeah.
way cooler than Synesthesia and Hurricanes combined."
Right.
And I'd be like, "Nigga, what?"
Are we just losing our
No, but
fans right
since
now?
he's my no, but since he's our he's since he's my brother, and I admire him very
Mm.
much in as far as music is concerned. I'd be very happy if they actually say that.
Oh yeah. You definitely take a little pride in that.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it for the announcements and achievements this week. What
Hmm.
time is the thing? The gig? 6 on Wednesday?
We usually try to show up by 7.
Okay. So it's good to maybe find parking around 6-ish.
Yeah, I would
Just
probably
get there early.
do that. Hmm.
Gotcha. Alright, and that's on this Wednesday at Taps and Apps in Mililani.
Mililani Malka.
Mililani Mauka. Okay. Let's head down to, since we are trying to keep this short, let's do a let's play
Hmm.
game. Um,
Okay.
what did we do last week? I forgot.
Uh. Ooh.
It was like a short Would You Rather, yeah, I think.
Yeah, I think we did. Would you rather? I think
Okay.
so.
Do
Now
you want
that I remember.
do you want to keep it in the same boat or you want to try something new?
We
Doesn't
could
matter.
try something new if you have any ideas for it. Because usually when it comes to games, think I don't really think of games where we could like you know do what we do. Usually when it comes to games, it's either you or Phil coming up with something good.
Right, right. I was thinking, guess that song, but
Okay,
in a
sure,
different way.
we can do that. I'll block my Discord
Yeah, I was
screen,
gonna say,
so
yeah.
yeah,
Okay, no cheating here.
so I
So
can't see a thing.
since there's only two of us, I guess I'm gonna be quizzing you mostly on this one.
All right.
We're gonna do this a little differently instead of the
Okay.
usual guess that song. So in this
Mhm.
iteration, you're gonna be naming an artist, and I'll be playing 10 of their most famous songs, and you're gonna have to guess each one by one, and then we'll see how much you guess by the end.
Okay, so let me get this straight. So you're gonna be all these songs are from one artist, right?
Yes, of your
And
choice.
the artist is of my choice.
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. We'll do a quick sound test here. If you can hear
Okay.
anything, hold on.
My choice might probably surprise you.
Probably. Okay. Can you hear this?
Yep, I can hear you.
Loud enough or a little? Too loud? What's the volume?
Maybe just a little bit. Like I could hear it, but it does fade a little.
It does
So
fade. Okay.
yeah, only little, but I could hear it.
Okay. Enough for it to guess the song, right?
Yeah, as
Okay.
long as we keep silent, of course.
All right. So here we go. Guess that song, artist edition. Nick, who is your artist?
Led Zeppelin.
Ooh. Okay. Not
I
not
told.
surprising because you have told us that you love the band.
Oh yeah, definitely. In fact, I would say as a rock band, acoustic rock band, I would say the Beatles, Queen, and Led Zeppelin are our top three influences.
Oh yeah. Okay. First song. You can't see, right?
No,
Okay.
can't see a thing. I can't even see you, dude.
Okay.
I'm literally blocking the screen with
Okay.
internet window.
All right. In that case, by the way, you have 30 seconds to guess the song name, and if you don't,
Okay.
then you lose the point. Actually, let's make
All
it
right.
20 because I feel like you know this band too much.
Really? Okay.
I feel like you kill this. Okay. First song.
I mean, I wouldn't say I know everything, but I'll try. Are you sure this is Led Zeppelin?
Yeah. And time's up. I know it's one of their lesser known songs, but it did pave the
Yeah.
way for reggae in the mainstream.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did they just do a genre flip? I hope they didn't do a genre
Yeah,
flip.
apparently Bob Marley collabed with them back in the day.
Oh yeah, that actually makes sense now since you mentioned that.
But yeah, that was Dire Maker, 1977.
Ah,
But yeah, not very
gotcha.
well known song. But it
Mhm.
does have a 50 million streams on Spotify, so it must be pretty good.
Ah. Mhm.
Okay, well that's the first song. 0 for 1 for you. I don't expect you to get every song, but you know.
I know, I know.
Okay, next song.
Good times, bad times. 1993. Oh
Little
no, no, sorry, that was the remaster. Sorry, that's the 1993 remaster.
little easier, yeah, definitely. By the way, you don't have to
Yeah,
guess the year, just guess the song. The
I know,
song
I
name.
know.
Okay, so you're or sorry, 1 of 2. That's one. Okay. Next song. One of my personal favorites.
Hey, hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you
Black Dog.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm like, wait a minute, I heard this before.
Yep. I love the blues riff to that one.
hmm
Groovy blues.
Well, rock and roll also carries a strong blues influence in it, also, because it's only three chords and it follows the 1-4-5 pattern.
Well, you can say that blues may be the godfather of rock and roll,
It's actually an offshoot of rock, so pretty much you could say that without the blues, we wouldn't have rock at all.
especially rock and roll. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 2 of 3 so far. Yeah, 2 of 3. Fourth song. Here we go.
Immigrant song.
Immigrant song. Yep. That's 3 of 4. Moving right along. Number 5.
Rock and roll.
Yes,
I
sir.
actually just mentioned this song earlier.
Wait, for the gig?
Huh?
For your gigs?
No, 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 no. But what you call when we were talking about Black Dog, like how it's
Oh.
blues inspired.
Mhm.
Rock and roll is actually the epitome of the blues in Led Zeppelin's vibe.
Oh, really? Is it?
Yeah, because if you actually look at the chords of the song, it's ADE, which is actually a blues structure.
Mm. Gotcha. So it's definitely one of their earlier works, you think?
I would probably say so.
Okay. So we are in number 6. go.
Kashmir, which is possibly one of their longest songs they've ever wrote.
They, a lot of their songs are pretty long, but I mean,
Oh
they're all
yeah,
masterpieces in their own way.
definitely. Hmm.
Okay, number 7. Oh, sorry. There we go.
I like this song, but I don't know what it's called.
Okay, 25 seconds is up. That was All My Love by Led Zeppelin.
Huh.
Yeah.
Somehow I feel like I came across the title before.
Yeah, not one of their well-known songs, but
Yeah.
1979. I think by that time they were kind of waning in terms of popularity. I mean, they're still good, but you know,
Yeah.
once the 80s came along,
Well,
they kind of
actually,
faded.
actually, by the time 1980 came along, which was when John Bonham unfortunately
Yeah.
passed from a drug overdose,
Hmm.
that was pretty much the nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't go on with their drummer.
Yeah,
One
with
of the best
their
drummers of all
drummer.
time. Yep.
Actually, I would say he's the best
You think so?
drummer in rock and roll of all time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like I like Neil Peart from Rush. I like
Pete Moon.
Ringo Starr from the Beatles, and I like Roger Taylor from Queen. But if you
Mhm.
ask me who's the best drummer out there, or who the best drummer that ever lived was, I would say it's John Bonham.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah, in the rock and roll realm, anyway.
Yep, I agree. Okay, number 8. So far you got 5 right out of 7, so that's pretty good.
Hmm.
Okay.
Fool in the Rain.
Full
I
Rain.
fucking love this song.
Mhm. It's
In fact,
definitely
I could
yeah.
actually play it on bass too.
It's definitely a different vibe to their usual bluesy vibes.
Oh yeah, I know. I mean, this isn't like usual rock and roll, but I still love this song regardless
Yeah, and definitely
because
yeah.
a lot of Led Zeppelin fans would actually say that "Fool in the Rain" is hands down the best beat John Bonham has ever delivered.
Mm. That was
In
Bonham on the
fact,
drums?
that is in fact Bonham playing the
That
drums. Like
sounds pretty good.
if you actually listen to how he plays isolated, like just listen to his drum parts, no singing, no guitar, and no bass playing. Just listen to the way he plays isolated. You'll be blown away.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. He was ahead of his time for sure.
Hmm.
And it just shows you how creative they were with their music. They weren't scared to do other genres in terms of
Oh
just
yeah, definitely.
experimenting.
Kind of like Queen,
Oh
really.
yeah.
But they usually stuck to what they know best. Which, if you
Hmm.
ask me, that's the best way to go.
Oh yeah. Okay, number 9. Let's see here.
Oh, I think I know this one. It's Dazed and Confused.
Wow, you definitely have a very high IQ of their catalog. Not bad.
Well, if you ask me, the way the song is introduced, I actually like how John Paul Jones kicks it off with sustained bass.
Mm,
Yeah,
definitely
like
sets the mood.
the moment you play that beginning riff on the bass, everybody knows. Oh, that's Dazed and Confused by Led Zeppelin.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay, last song, number 10.
Yeah, I can definitely hear the bass there. But at the same time, this sounds like it's acoustic guitar. This kind of sounds like it's one of their folk rock songs.
Hmm. Definitely earlier days. It's from their
Yeah,
second album.
Such a pleasant stay.
right. Led Zeppelin 2, right?
Yep.
But now it's time for me to go.
Oh,
I guess
why
the
do I
intro's
not
not
know
very
this
well
one?
known, but the
Probably not. Yeah.
this is the chorus here.
Wow.
It's a very
I
groovy beat
actually
to it.
I actually like how this song apparently is very bass centered, which for me is great
Oh yeah.
because, I can actually get a bit more recognition, whereas the guitar player is usually the second most recognized after the singer.
Hmm. Okay,
So
well,
pretty
yeah,
much, yeah. So
not too
pretty
bad.
much if I want to steal Ronan's spotlight as an instrumentalist, I could play one of those songs, like Seven Nation Army, Come
Mm.
Together, or even that song, whatever it's called.
Ramble on.
Ah,
Ramble
wait,
on.
Ramble On. What the fuck? How did I not know that? I
I know.
actually heard this
I was
song.
surprised you didn't.
What the
That's one of their
hell?
most famous songs ever.
Dang it.
Play that song. Okay. We do have time for one more band here. You want to do one more artist? It's up to you.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, who is it? Your pick.
The Beatles.
Ooh. Oh man, I could
Yeah.
go anywhere with this because they have a billion songs literally in their catalog.
Yeah, they do. Well, I wouldn't say a billion songs, but like they have a billion hits that they cranked out.
Definitely. Alrighty, hold on here. Okay. Okay, so the Beatles. All right. Yeah, you blocked the screen, right?
Yeah, I blocked the screen.
Okay. First song from the Beatles. One of my personal favorites.
There are places I remember all my life.
Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Unfortunately, no. This is definitely one of
Oh
their
man,
earlier works. Yeah, before they
it really
experimented with
did.
LSD.
It really did feel like that song for some reason, though.
I'm surprised you didn't get that one. It's "In My Life" by John Lennon. It's actually a very,
Oh,
very famous piece.
shit.
It's a
Okay.
karaoke classic as well.
Hmm.
Okay, well that's a zero for number one. Second song.
Yikes.
Here we go. Should be easy.
I need
They
somebody.
just said it. Help.
I know. Emphasizing the
they,
easy there.
they literally gave me the answer.
Yep. Which album was it?
Help.
I can't believe you actually had to think about that one. Almost got you. Okay. Number three. Here we go.
Something.
Damn. That was a fast one.
Way she moves.
One of the more underrated love songs ever made, I think.
Yeah, it is very underrated. Although
Mhm.
the music video, if you ask me, is kind of cheesy.
Really? Is it?
Well, if you think about it, they are with their,
Loved
uh,
ones.
you know, loved ones. But at the same time, whenever you see John and Yoko in the video together, you're probably thinking, are they anime characters or did they come out of a Star Wars convention?
Yeah.
Because I can't tell.
The first cosplayers, apparently.
Well, yeah, that, and apparently every time they appeared, especially in their long black cloaks, I'm
Yeah.
thinking, were they playing Mr. and Mrs. Vader? I'm pretty sure they're Mr. and Mrs. Vader, considering John is actually the troubled one.
Or some kind of cult or something.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, song number four for the Beatles.
Um,
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry
uh,
Fields.
Strawberry Fields.
Nothing is real.
Um, no, it can't be Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. No way. Strawberry
Quick
Fields.
guess.
Okay, I'm just gonna say it's Strawberry Fields, even though that's probably not the song.
It's very close, but it's Strawberry Fields Forever by John
Oh
Lennon.
shit! I missed one word.
Yep.
Damn it.
Funnily enough, it's one of their best songs now, but it weirdly enough ended their streak of number one hits in the 60s. Their streak of
Really?
20 number one hits. That sorry, not 20, 15 number one hits. That song ended the streak, which they were
Wow.
hoping it wouldn't because it was one of their best works. But
Yeah.
I guess times changed. I guess they were too ahead of their time, where people didn't really get their music.
Yeah. Well, they did for a while, but then by the time they were like pretty close to breaking up, that's
Mm,
when the Beatles were like, eh, you know?
yeah.
Because then during that time, especially in 1968, that was when bands like Led Zeppelin and Queen were emerging.
I think Queen was it like 70s, 71?
They were mostly 70s, but apparently they were formed in 68. Well, technically, Queen wasn't quite formed yet.
It was
It was
Smile.
they were actually yeah, it was Smile. So Brian May and Roger Taylor, like they were already together by
Mm,
68. But then when 70 came around, Tim Staffel left, which that meant Smile was gone. But in
mm,
its place came Queen with the pre-existing members of Smile.
gotcha. And the legendary Freddie, of course.
Of course, he actually pretty much
He is Queen.
cemented Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. Okay, song number 5 for the Beatles. Oh shit. This should be pretty easy.
Yesterday.
Nice. You said I was hoping you'd say yesterday before he said it, before Paul said it.
I
And you
I
did.
did.
I know, that's what I said. And you did. Okay, number 6. And also bonus points if you can get the songwriter of the song.
Okay.
Number 6, here we go.
I wanna hold your hand.
Okay, who wrote the song?
I feel like this might be a Lennon McCartney song.
Who initially wrote it?
Probably John Lennon.
Yeah, you did. He did the majority of the writing in the earlier days.
Yeah, he did. In fact, if you look at this bar graph where it actually shows who wrote what, I mean, like number one hit of each Beatle individually, Ringo ranked as the least who wrote number one hits,
Hmm.
and John obviously wrote the most
Oh,
number one
really? I
hits.
thought him and Paul were
Yeah.
kind of like back and forth.
Well, sort of. I would say in the earlier days that would be true, but if you look at the band's lifespan as a whole, it's mostly John Lennon that wrote most of their number one hit. But I would say during the earlier days, that's when Lennon and McCartney together, they pretty
Hmm,
much beat it out of the park with their songs.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7, here we go.
I've just seen her face, I can't forget the time or place where we
The
just
hell?
met. She's just a girl for me, and I want all the world to see we've met.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Had it been another day, I might have looked the other way, and I'd have never.
Any guesses?
I've never heard this one.
Really? It's
Yeah.
actually pretty good. It's a really good song. One of Paul's earlier works in the Health
Makes
album.
sense because that sounds like that's Paul singing.
Hmm. And
That
that
sounds like wait. I think since I mentioned Paul, I have I think I might know the answer to this one.
okay, go ahead.
Blackbird.
Very close.
Oh
Blackbird was
man.
later on in the White Album, 3 years later. But this was
Right,
I've
right.
just seen a face.
Oh, I've just seen her face.
Yeah,
Okay.
still a classic, definitely.
Yeah.
And he
I
still
mean,
plays it to this day. His
I was
solo.
thinking it might be Blackbird because I do recall that he actually wrote that song with his acoustic guitar.
Yeah, definitely the same type of song. Very acoustic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why I thought it would be Blackbird.
Similar, but not quite. Okay, number 7. Here we go. And you might be surprised who wrote this one. Here we go.
Okay.
If you can guess.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Let me tell you how it will be. There's one for you, 19 for me.
Okay, I can't think of the song name, but I feel like this could be Ringo Starr who wrote it.
Close in a way. So you don't know the
Oh,
song name?
it's George. No.
Yeah.
So my next guess is George Harrison.
Big George. Yep, it was George. His actually first number one with the Beatles, Taxman.
Uh,
In their
oh,
yeah,
damn it. I actually like that song. How did I not recognize it?
I love that song. Yeah, in the album Revolver, which people say
Yeah,
arguably their greatest work, but you can argue
right.
about it. I still
Well,
think
if you ask
yeah,
me,
I still think
I
Abbey Road
actually like the
is their
yeah, I
best work.
actually like the bass groove in that song because when I looked up most famous songs to play on bass, Taxman was one of those songs.
Hmm.
Like I can actually feel that the song is very bass heavy.
It's very fast paced too.
Hmm.
Okay, number 8. It sucks because a lot of their songs titles are in the first couple, phrases of the music of the
Hmm.
song. So it's kind of
Yeah.
they kind of give it away. But here we go, number 8.
Okay.
When I wake up early in the morning, lift my head, I'm still yawning when I'm in the middle of a dream. Stay in bed, float upstream, you can wake me, no, don't shake
I can't believe I told you.
me where I am.
That's the same album. And can you guess the song and the songwriter?
I could probably guess the songwriter. I feel like it might be a Lennon McCartney song.
Actually, it was all Lennon.
All Lennon?
Hmm.
Okay,
He actually
makes
wrote the
sense.
majority of Revolver,
Yeah, makes
but
sense.
that was "I'm Only Sleeping" by John Lennon.
Oh,
Underrated song. Yep.
I feel like if my dad was playing this game with the Beatles
Mm.
as the artist,
Oh, he get
he's
everything.
probably he's gonna ace it.
Yeah,
Everything.
the songwriter, the year, everything.
Well, I'm not too sure about the songwriter aspect, but as
The
far
song in
as like
general.
the songs themselves will go, he's gonna get a 10 out of 10. I can promise you
Man, maybe you should have him guest on the show
that. Yeah.
just for this game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, song number. Wait, are we on 8 or 9?
I
Shit.
think we might be an 8.
Okay. Damn it! I want to play these songs, but they say the freaking title at the first in the first
Really?
bar.
I mean, who knows? Maybe I might not know them.
Okay, this is actually a very small part of a song, but it is a part.
Okay.
I don't know why it's stopping here.
Yeah, by might not know this
It's one of their Abbey Road medleys. It's called "Carry That
one.
Weight."
Oh,
It's actually the second to last
oh,
song they ever made and
mm.
recorded together. Okay, so we are on number 9. Okay, here we go. Oops, sorry. Wrong song. There we go. Very melodic.
Yeah, I can tell. And it's a pretty long intro too, but I can't get the song at all.
The song is pretty much like this the whole way through.
S- Seriously? Like it's an instrumental?
Well, they do have voices coming along, but it's very instrumental
Okay,
based, heavy. I mean,
I see.
but it's from Abbey Road. Do you know? Any idea?
No. Mm-mm.
It's called The Sun King.
Can't think of it. The Sun King. Okay.
It's actually written by all four of them. Yeah, in a collaboration effort.
Oh, so it was pretty much a joint effort then.
Yep.
Which actually makes me think about Innuendo by Queen because Innuendo
Mm.
is actually, well, it's actually one of their most underrated hits out there. But if you ask me, it pretty much comes very close to Bohemian Rhapsody, as far as like
Creativity.
awesomeness, yeah, and creativity goes. And contrary to what most would think, you know, um, that song Innuendo was actually a joint effort by all four members.
And if I recall, it was their last number one hit before Freddie died.
Probably. Well, I wouldn't. I wouldn't necessarily say it was their last number one hit. Although it wouldn't be too far fetched to say that because 1991 that was Freddie's last year before he
Hmm.
succumbed to AIDS.
Yeah, and Innuendo was in their last album, right? Or was it 1989?
No, Innuendo was their second to last album, but before completion, Freddie did unfortunately pass away. So
Mm.
technically speaking, their last album is actually made in heaven.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Yeah.
put it.
Hmm.
Okay, last song by the Beatles. Here we go.
Obladi Oblada.
Yep, definitely a fun song that McCartney wrote.
Yeah, it is. It is a fun song.
Okay, so that's just because it's a fun song. Let's stay till the chorus because everyone loves the chorus.
Okay.
You guys should cover this once in a while, or at least just for
I
fun,
know.
you know.
I've been looking to cover this one because this is a fun song.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
I can see you guys,
Obladi.
and everyone can sing, you know, in a way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Speaking of everyone can sing. Speaking of that, I have been telling Kaleo, Meg, and Ronan that we should definitely invest in our own microphones and
Mm.
stands so that we can actually like harmonize, which will actually improve our power as a band, if you ask me. And on top of that, only do, although I settled this option as like an occasional thing, we are also gonna have Meg play rhythm guitar every once in a while at least.
Meg plays guitar now.
She can,
Wow.
but if you ask me, she's nowhere near as good as.
Obviously, I mean she's just what
Yeah.
beginning.
No, I wouldn't. Well, she does. I can see that she has some experience in guitar, but like I said, if you ask me who should be lead, obviously Ronan takes the cake for being like
Mm.
not to like spit in her face metaphorically or anything, but you know, Ronan's the best in his department, or I would say he pretty much has it on lock since he spent pretty much his entire life playing guitar.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see that. Okay, well, that's the end of the Let's Play a Game, aka Guess That Song, and that means that's the end of our podcast. A little
All
long in the
right then.
tooth, but it was fun nonetheless. Hopefully, Phil will be back next week.
Hmm.
From the Panoramic Studios, this is Aristotle. That's Sick Nick. Everyone, good night and good luck.
Yep.
And get back on Conquest, right?
Let me see the download.
Or the down,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. It's. Well, I'm not saying we should, but if you want to, we could probably give it a try.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
waiting
like
for
a
it.
demo.
It just finished, yeah, downloading, so just let me know.
Yeah, I just fin. Well, wait, hold on. Are we playing Star Wars Battlefront or are we playing Hunt?
Which download were you referring to earlier?
I was well for me since I was only downloading one game. Hunt
Oh,
Showdown.
oh. Yeah, let's play a
Yeah.
demo. Let's play a demo game.
Okay, sure. We
Alright,
could play at least once.
alright. See you guys.
Yep.